Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Gina once again, and today I'm actually making a card. I was doing another art swap, and the prompt this time was that we had to use love, and it had to be a card. It was supposed to be bigger, but I needed a tutorial, and I just used their dimensions. So I'm starting off with 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. That's the size that I'm measuring now. And then I'm making two cards, two pieces that same size. So that's what I'm cutting out there. And then I'm going to score on each card 3/8. So if you see me pointing on the rulers, me checking to see where 3/8 is. So I am going to score on each card 3/8 from the edge. And then from that line, I'm going to score 1 7/8. Well, not score, it's just a line from the edge. I'm going to score 1 7/8. Just to draw a line so I'll know where to stop. So this is me trying to figure out how to use my mat to be able to get the measurements good and easy, but yeah. So this I'm measuring the 1 7/8 now to draw my line, because I'm going to place each card on top of the other and stop at that mark that I drew the line. I'm clipping it together so that it doesn't move. And now I'm going to draw a heart. What I'm actually making today is a peekaboo window card. First time I'm trying it, and I'm following the instructions of Frenchie Martin. So she actually used a die cut heart, but I am drawing a heart because I don't have a die cut. So let's see how it goes. And she measured the distance from the edge of the heart to the edge of the card. I did not. I just drew it and cut it out. So honestly, this was it was a difficult project for me. It seemed very simple, but it was very hard. Very, very hard. So I did the same to the two hearts. Now I then fold my score lines, and now I'm making a card base of 11 by 4 1/4 inches. And on both sides of it, I'm scoring a line 2 3/4 inches from the edge so I could fold it. And I'm creasing it, and then I'm going to glue those pieces on the inside. So I have to line it up to where I folded my card. I have to line it up and then glue just the fold part, just glue that down. I am going to link her video so you could see, you'll get much better instructions and you'll see better because she uses different colors. I know I'm using white, so it's a bit difficult to see, but yeah, it'll be fine. So when you open it, the cards kind of pull apart. Mine isn't closing, so I'm just cutting the edge of it so it could fold better. And now, at this point, I realized that I did not, because my cards they're white, I have to now decorate my cards. So I'm just going to paint it because by this time, I know not much time has passed here in the video, but when I actually did it, it was a long time. A lot of time had passed. It took me a really long time to make this card. It was a lot more difficult than I thought. And it didn't even come out the way that it was supposed to, but I still thought I'd share. Because, I mean, sometimes we see videos and we try them and they don't turn out the way that we would like. Or, just to show that for those of us who struggled following a video, you're not alone. Ours don't turn out as fancy and perfect as other people's own. So there you go. So I'm now decorating my card. I just decided, okay, this is supposed to be love, so let me try and put some happy colors, some bright happy colors. And then I found this piece of cardstock and I was like, oh crap, Gina, you could have used this piece. But like I said, I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I just wanted to get this done because this project was very overdue, too overdue. So right now I cut out a card base. I think it's 3 by 3 inches, but she put that size for the hat that she had, and I didn't realize that until I cut out mine. So I'm cutting a bigger piece to fit my hat, which is bigger, and it just has to cover the hat without showing on, without seeing any of the edges. So I'm just cutting off any excess and I'm going to stick it down as my base. So when the card, when it's revealed, that's what you see. Yeah. And this is my sentiment that I'm putting. Now you could use this for Mother's Day and say, I love you so much, Mom, and Mom always, or love whoever you are from, whatever you want to put to your mom. I just think it's so cool. It could be a Mother's Day card or anything card, just because. I like just because cards. They come at any time of the year, any time of the month, and it's just because I love you. Here you go. I love those. So, but I mean, Mother's Day is coming up soon, so this can be made for your mom, and I think it's just pretty, pretty, pretty cool. So now, let me see. Now we're measuring the piece that goes on top, I believe, on top of the heart. So at the end of the day, all the hearts are supposed to line up. And that was really tricky for me. I didn't quite get it, but yeah. So this piece that I am adding now is actually supposed to go to the top of everything. So I'm just measuring. I went searching and I found this pretty piece of paper because I realized it's supposed to go on top and I didn't feel like decorating anything. So I'm just measuring to make sure that it closes, and I'm using the heart now to get a perfect shape, or the exact shape of the heart, and also the exact lineup when I place it into the card. And then I'm cutting that out because that has to be stuck over both flaps. I know I'm not very clear, but thank God for visual as well. But I did write down the instructions for when I decide to try this again. Hopefully the next time it'll come out better. So I'm just snipping my edges to ensure that it closes. Every time I try it, it's just a little too wide still, so I'm just cutting down a sliver. And I decided to give it, right, so I actually realized here that I cut it too short. What's supposed to happen is it's supposed to end up being as long as the card, top to bottom, but the width has to be able to allow it to close. So I cut it a bit too short, top to bottom, so I'm giving it a card base so that I can stick the top and the bottom down alone when it's closed. So I'm just cutting out with that because I need to see through that, the heart area, so I could see my sentiment that I sent to my mom. But this is actually, remember, this is an art swap that I did. So it's for my friend Away, who will get it. And we're supposed to use foam strips. So you're using this sticky foam at the top and the bottom, but I didn't have any. So I thought that I would just simply put some glue and it should still be able to slide in and out, right? So I'm putting the clamps to help it stick a little faster. As I said, this took a long time and I was tired at this point. So I'm putting the clamps to help it stay. And while it's clamped, I'm trying to open and close it, but it's not moving. So I was like, okay, let me take off the clamps and try and neaten it up and see. I know the glue is not fully dry, but it should move, right? But it's not moving. And I realize it's because the glue spread too much and it's going to cause a lot of problems. So while I am trying to do this, I realize that I have to move it. because it's gonna mess up my card and I might scream. So I'm still really trying to get this to work, but I realize it's not working. So I just took it off and I'm wiping off my glue and I'm praying that the glue doesn't, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, because it's going to make my card stick instead of flowing easy when I open and close it. So at this point is when I realized that the heart, it doesn't stay as covered as I would like, which means I didn't get things lined up properly somehow. So what I decided to do was add these 2 pieces of tracing paper so that it would add some more mystery to the heart when it's revealed, because it's supposed to be covered and then open. Well, you all know how the peekaboo cards work, right? So it's supposed to open, just slide open when you open the card, and it's like, wow. Yeah, I wasn't getting that effect. So I decided to try this, see if that would help. And at this point, I am doing my own, this was not part of the video. I'm just doing my own guesstimation, trying to figure out what to do, where to put it. I'm just averaging everything by eye and, no measurements, which is how I usually work. And I'm trying to figure this out just by looking and experimenting. And I'm going to stick them down behind the flaps. So they do add a little more measure of privacy for the wood, I guess. But I still feel like it's not doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So I'll try again, but not right now, because it was a bit difficult for me. Being very honest here. Have any of you ever tried to do any of these cards? I think next time I wouldn't do a heart. I'll probably do because I think they do a regular circle normally. So I think next time I'll try that and see how it comes out. So now I'm trying to stick this back and I'm like, what am I going to use to stick this? Because it didn't work. And I went through my washi tape and I found this piece because it has to match now with the colors that I have, right? So I found this piece and I thought, okay, purple is love, right? Kind of family, same family, and it could work. In my mind, I was like, yeah, this could work. So I just cut 2 pieces, 2 strips for the top and the bottom. I added some extra glue to help it stay down, and I'm just folding it over the edge to the back, so that it's trapped, but there is space inside. Now when you use the foam strips, it's raised and you have that extra space for the card to slide, so I'm guessing that's why mine doesn't flow as smoothly. But like I said, I didn't have any, so I'm improvising. And I actually like the look that the tape gives it. It gives it a nice richness to it, which I really like this card actually. I don't know, I find when I make things for my art swap people, it turns out so nice, and I thank God for pictures, because sometimes I want to keep them. Even if I try to make something exactly the same, it's not going to come out exactly the same. So, and here I am reinforcing it with some staples, because I just don't trust that, I don't trust that to stay with all that movement happening. So I decided to staple it, and this is it. I was like, okay, good, it stayed. So now I'm decorating the card, because obviously it's just very plain, and I didn't want to try to do anything fancy. So I just looked around in my stash to see what pictures I had printed out, and I just try to think of things that make, I know, well, I hope it makes her happy, but I try to think of things that make her feel happy, and also, the theme of the card, which is love. So I put the nature sticker there, which is the tree, which I just love. It's so beautiful. And then I just made some small hearts on the side. I got this number plate card because the colors matched. That was the only reason. And I just created some hearts on that side to help tie in with the theme. And then I put some hearts inside. I mean, it's pretty simple, simply decorated, very simple, but I like it very much, and I really hope that she likes it too. I will let you all know the feedback I get if she responds. Because when I send things, it takes a really long time to arrive. So by then, I don't know. Yeah. So I just found this was so cute. I actually got this idea from a really good friend of mine. She sent me a tiny, I mean, like posted size card with just 3 hearts and I love you or something to that effect. And I kept it. I have it in my diary and I just love it so much. And I've always wanted to replicate it because it's so beautiful. So this idea with the 3 hearts layered came from her. So thank you, Pam. This was from you. And I'm just sticking everything down and decorating now. If you try this card, let me know. Let me know how yours turns out. I would love to know. I don't know if you would try the one with the heart or because there are so many. There are lots of videos on YouTube. But hers was the one that I followed. Again, I will link it below. And yeah, she was actually really good in explaining. I did have to stop and go back a lot. Pause, stop, go back a lot. But like I said, this was difficult for me. For others, I know it would be very simple and yours would probably look perfect. But I also know that there are others in the world who had, you'll struggle like me. So, yeah. Oh, yes, I put this closure because I don't know. I felt like it's a card, but it would be nice for it to close and, just to have the luxury of opening it. And I just found that was cute. So I just put in this, what do you call these things again that I'm clamping down now? That I really can't remember the name of it. And then I added a piece of cloth. I had to find one that matched the theme, which was love. So I did find a nice piece, nice light pink, and it frays nicely at the edges. I just love it. Maybe a bit too much. I think it frays a bit too much, but it feels soft and light and really nice. So I just added this piece. I tied a knot and just wrapped it around the whole thing and then tucked it in. And I just find that it's so cute. So I really hope that she likes it. I like it a lot. So I will I think it's a nice gift for Mother's Day and also just because. So this is about it. Is it? All right, so I'm decorating the insides now and well, yeah, that's basically it. Decorating the insides, trying to see where to put what, adding some borders here and there, and gluing stuff down. So once again, I would like to thank all of you for watching. Thank you for participating. Thank you for sharing and commenting. And I hope you enjoy this video and it encourages you to go create something. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!